up a little bit first, so just have your legs about shoulder width apart. So we're going to start with the neck, head, and it'll go all the way down. So I'm just going to look over a shoulder than the other. So look over your left shoulder then your right. So just the normal, very standard warm up here. Just going to roll my neck with my chin across my, what's this guy called? The chest, please. Just to keep warming up our neck. I'm going to look down and look up. So when you look up, you can really open up your shoulders a bit, look up towards the ceiling, and then back down again. So opening up, and then back down. Nice, we're going to focus on the shoulders now, so big circles with our shoulders going backwards. Just really open up that chest, and then forwards now. So big shoulders again, circles with your shoulders, going forwards. Okay, now arms, we're going to draw really big circles with our arms, going backwards behind us, nice. And then the same again forwards. Just keep going with big circles, very nice. We're just going to twist at the hips now, just looking behind us over our left shoulder and then our right. Okay. Nice. It's Dylan there. Dylan, throw me a beach ball. Cool. Hey, thanks. Right. Oh, you actually got one. You got a Swiss ball there, mine. Thanks. I stole that one from Richard. Alright, okay, big circles here. So pretend you're holding a Swiss ball, beach ball, whatever, or like a big dog in your hands. You do draw these big circles all the way around, above your head and then down between your legs. Nice. Okay, now we're just going to go back to our shoulders. Walk your feet in a little bit now, so shoulder width apart, and then I'm just going to kind of pummel here. So just pummeling, or like you could be doing uppercuts, but really loosen up your shoulders. So you really want to relax your shoulders here and really twisting into it backwards and forwards with your arms. Just to really loosen up your arms a little bit. Okay. We're going to put our feet a little bit closer together now, go up onto one foot and try and open up your hips. Hold it for a second there. And then back in front, and then knee goes down. So you lift up your knee, try and open up your hips, just hold it there for a second to balance. Goes in front of you, goes back down. So it's 3 times each side. Just open up, try and face me, so face the screens if you can. So try not to turn the top part of your body with it. You're just focusing on the hip rotation here and mobility. So back down, then up again. So this will be 2 times with the left leg up. Down, nice, down, up again. Really try and open up that hip, hold that for a second, and then back down in front of you. Okay, keep our feet close together. We're just going to draw little circles with our knees, going in the same direction. They don't need to be too big or too deep, and then turn, then go for the other direction now. So now I'm going anti-clockwise. Nice, now I'm going to spread my legs out and do the same thing, but my knees now are going opposite directions. So they don't need to be big circles, just small circles is enough. Stay within your comfort range. And just small circles going inwards and then now outwards. Okay, nice. So try and spread your feet a little bit further apart now with your toes pointed forwards. And we're just going to stretch out our arms. We're going to touch opposite toe with our opposite hand and then come back up. So we're just in this star shape and going down, touching the opposite toe, keeping our legs and arms straight and going back down. So we're hinging at the hips. We're trying to keep our backs pretty straight as well. We don't really want to be bending over too much. Okay, nice. Now you're going to get your socks. So grab your socks and then we'll go back into that exact same position in a second. Right, so when we've got our socks, what we're going to do, so we're going to go back to our legs spread out. Let me angle this down a tiny bit just so you can see a little bit better. Give me one sec. Power thing's falling out. Oh, I'll keep this thing plugged in, I don't want to die halfway through. Right, okay, so we're going to be here, legs apart. Let me move back a little bit so you can see. So now to start with, we're going to put socks out in front of both feet, like you've got a big square in front of you. I'm going to put a sock here and a sock there. I hope you guys can see that in the video. I'll go down a tiny bit. Boom. There you go. So you can see my sock. Right. So there's a big square in front of you now. So you can be really big square if you have your legs wide, or just a medium kind of size square now. So what you're going to do now is just going to reach down to a toe. So you can bend your knees now, reach down to a toe, then your other toe, and then you crawl forward to touch one sock, crawl back, move across, and then touch the other sock. That's all you're doing now, is just a little bit of like mobility in these different directions. So you're just going to crawl in front, touch a sock, and then come back. So we're starting off really easy, touching our toes, one side and the other, and then crawl forward to touch a top corner sock, come back, and then crawl forward and touch another sock. So you can touch it with one hand if you like here, you can touch it with two hands, just like that, right? To make it a little bit harder, when you crawl over the top corner sock, you can try, so you're going to be loading your weight onto one leg, crawling forwards onto that sock with two hands now. So crawl forwards, really lean into it so you've got two hands over the sock. If you want to lower your weight and put your chest onto the sock, so you're going for a really low press up, all the way down, touch the sock with your chest, and then push yourself back up onto your feet. You move to the other side, crawl forward, so you've got all your weight now on my left leg, crawling forwards, putting both hands around the sock, and that's fine. Or if you want to really go for it, you go for a press up to try and touch the sock with your chest, and then push back up through this diamond press up, and then back. So I'm going to do the same thing 2 more times on either top corner. Here. So it's quite tough to push yourself all the way down into that press up. You can give it a go. If you have to put your knees on the floor, that's fine as well. Okay, now back. Now we're going to change the shape to a triangle. So you're going to have one sock now in front of you. So you've got a triangle with your 2 feet, and then the one sock in front. So we're talking equilateral triangle here, alright? So the same kind of thing. Bend at the knees, yeah? And then just crawl forward, touch the sock with one hand, crawl back, touch your foot, one side, and then the other, and then back up again. Bend your knees here. So you're going to go into like a sumo squat. So you can touch the floor, crawl forward, touch it with one hand, then touch both feet. Alright, so you've done that a couple of times, then you're going to do the similar thing. You're going to touch with 2 hands and try and cup the sock with your hands here, and push all the way down into a press up, and then back up again. So if you need to put your knees on the floor, nice Dylan, if you put nice Eugene, put your knees on the floor, that's fine. I'm just going to crawl forward again here. So we want to make sure that we're stable here in this position to start off with. When we find that stability, then we push all the way down for this diamond press up, and then back up. Last one. Alright, cool. Now what we're going to do, we're going to try and touch that sock in front of us with our foot. So you can put your hand to the floor now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hand to the floor anywhere just in front of me, sit through, touch it with my foot, and then back to the original position. Nice, Christina. Put my hand down wherever feels comfortable. You can put your hand down wherever you want, and just sit through enough to just touch that sock, and then draw that back through the gap. It's a bit of a mobility challenge here. Nice, Martin, yeah. You put your hand down to the mat, sit through, touch the sock, and then back up. Yeah. Touch the sock, and then back. How's that? Nice, okay, we can go back to a square now. We're going to go back to a square. So 2 socks down, just for a bit of strength now. Now we're going to do the press up of the square. So we're going to walk forwards and try and get a hand on each sock. So we've got 4 points of contact with the floor in the corners of a square. Then we try and do a press up all the way down with wide arms, really low, and push back up and push yourself back up into standing position. It's kind of tough if you have to put your knees to the floor, it's up to you. Just try and get your chest really nice and low to the mat. So I'm going to crawl forwards, put one hand on either sock here, I'm up on my toes, and I'm going to push down onto the floor, low press up and push back up. So you engage your core, everything. This is good, really good for like stability and strength. We'll do one last one. Touch the socks, down, back up. How's that? Bit tough, but it's good. It's good to have that strength in the different kind of directions and stuff, especially for jiu-jitsu, because you don't know where you're going to be putting your hands at any point when you're like trying to pass guard. With the last one, we're going to have a sock in front of us and a sock behind us, like a diamond. So a sock just in front, a sock behind, and our feet are the other side, so the diamond shape now. Okay, so here you could, right, let's try and figure out how to touch both our feet and our hands on each corner of this diamond. So you could try and touch the sock in front and try and lean through and touch the sock behind with your arms if they're long enough, and turn here. So I've still got a nice stretch there, and I've got all points of the diamond shape covered. Just touching all points here, like that. So you have to go into quite a low squat and reach behind you and in front of you at the same time. So you probably feel this in your hamstrings. It's a nice mobility challenge as well. Okay, and last one, how are we going to touch? Do the same thing now with our hand down on the floor. So what I'm going to put my hand on the floor to replace my foot here. I'm going to step through to make contact with the sock in front, and then reach back there. So I've got contact with both socks. Yeah, nice Christine, exactly, nice Martin. Nice down there. Hold that position, try and bring yourself back all the way up, and then release. So you can do that another couple of times. You can go to the other side now. Put your hand down where your left foot is. This is a real game of twister now, yeah? Left foot goes in front of you to touch that sock. Right arm is going to go behind. And now you've got, what are those twister moves? Red, circle, green, square, I don't know. Basically. You can come back and try and control that movement the whole time throughout, using your core as well. How's that? Is it good? Yeah. So that will help you move through these sit-through positions and stuff, using your core to keep your bum off the floor at the same time as being able to plant your hand and your feet down. Obviously in jiu-jitsu you're always doing things like this here. Someone's trying to sweep you, you have to be able to put your hand down. You need to be strong in those positions for one thing, you need to be stable as well. We'll do a little bit now using the socks before we do the workout of footwork for a kind of boxing, striking. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put one sock in front of me here, the other sock is going to be behind. So say in between the socks there's like a clock face. One sock is at 12 o'clock, the other sock is going to be, let's say, 5 o'clock. Yeah? And they're about 1 meter apart. Yeah, that's perfect, Christina. Nice, nice, Dan. Okay, so now you're going to put your foot on the left side of each foot on the left side of each sock. So depending what stance you are, if you've done any striking before or any martial arts, depending how comfortable you feel, I'm orthodox, so I'm going to be left foot forward and right foot back. So remember, any striking, martial arts, MMA and stuff, you'll tend to be like stronger side back here, whereas judo and jiu-jitsu you tend to be stronger side forward because you're grappling, but we're doing a bit of striking here. There, so this is just like a device or like an exercise to make sure you keep your feet apart and you're not just stepping across here and getting off balance. So we're just going to bend our knees slightly, we're just concentrate on a jab and then across. So we're just going to bend our knees a little bit with jab out in front of us, there. You can see the technique a little bit. Okay, so we're just going to jab out in front, so we're snapping that jab out here and drawing it back in. My elbow doesn't want to flare out, my elbow comes back to my rib cage and it's like we're punching down like a pipe. So what we're doing, we're turning over our fist, jabbing, trying to make our body like quite long, so we're turning our shoulder and we're just jabbing here, punching and then back. Okay, so we keep our feet in the same place and then our right goes across as well. So we can do 1, 2, so we can jab here, draw it back to cover our chin, and then we turn, so we turn our shoulder, and then my right shoulder goes forward, and then I go for a right cross. Okay, so we're just keeping, for now, obviously we'd be moving our feet around, but for now this is just to make sure you keep your feet in the right place, so you're on balance the whole time. So all we're doing is 1, 2 here, that's it. So jab and turn your body, so you're turning your hips and your shoulders there. So you see my shoulder then faces you with the jab, and then I turn, and now my right shoulder faces you with the right cross. Like this. That's right, Tom, yeah. So you can practice that here with your hands down, this big twist. And I'm on my toes, I'm not on my heels. I've got a slight bend in my feet, my knees, there. There. That's it. Because just to make sure that you're on balance, when I'm doing these workouts, I'm saying punch, 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 you're not going to fall over, so your legs need to be in this position. Now we can practice moving left and right. So I'm just going to move my left foot away from the sock, then my right foot away from the sock, but we want to keep the same distance away from the sock. Nice. Okay, so this is going to allow us to stay in a really stable base like this, and we can move back towards the socks, away from the socks, but make sure your feet are the same distance away from each sock at the same time, and that's going to stop you from like stepping here, crossing your feet and all that kind of stuff. So we go to the side, there. So we don't want to cross our legs. When I'm moving to the left, I'm going to left first, and then I'm going to meet you with the right. So we're just moving side to side, nice. We can do the same thing forwards and backwards now. Do a little step forwards. So we want to just make sure we look down and say, okay, our feet are basically the same distance away from their respective socks. And then back, here, and back. You can go side, and side. Nice. So now you can practice like doing a little bit of punching as well at the same time as moving. Forwards and backwards, side to side. That's it, really basic footwork here. Concentrate on trying to turn those shoulders as well when you punch. And that's it. It's hopefully going to help you not trip yourselves over. And then when you practice this at home later or anything, you can do this with kicks as well. You can kick forwards, make sure you plant the foot back near those socks. Kick, plant the foot back so you come back into that stance. You can do the other front kick, and then the foot goes back. Okay? So you've always got those landing zones here to make sure you're on balance the whole time. And then after that, you can start switching positions. Okay? So if you like, we could put another sock here just to finish. So you've got a triangle. So you've got another sock behind you now for a triangle, and that right leg can go back to touch that triangle, that other sock. And you just keep your legs a good distance apart the whole time. This is something more to practice at home. So your legs are making sure you're balanced the whole time. But the first two socks are more important there. Yeah? I know, kind of. Does that make sense? Yeah. Any questions on that stuff?
No.
Yeah, nice, Eugene. Yeah, so you want to make sure when you're here, so if you are kicking, you don't want to put your foot back in exactly the same line here. So I don't want my legs straight like that. An extreme stance like this, maybe in Taekwondo is really extreme stance, but I really want my foot to land where the sock is, so then I'm balanced left and right and forwards and backwards. Yeah. Nice. And then when I'm turning, I'm doing these rotations, then I think, okay, right, my legs are the right distance apart from each other. So there's a little bit of footwork and balance and handwork for you there. It's always nice to practice. I like doing that stuff at the moment because we can't grapple each other. Right, we're going to go into take a sip of water if you need one. Grab a towel or whatever you might need. So we're going to do the MMA workout now, which is going to incorporate some of that stuff and hopefully get you guys seriously sweating. So grab a sip of water now, because this time we're going to do 15 minutes, and it's going to be 45 seconds on, 15 seconds rest, so it's 15 exercises. Alright, so this time we're not doing rounds, we're going to go a long 15 minutes and a different exercise each minute. So I'll quickly tell you what they are so you know what to expect. The first one's just going to be lunges, second one's going to be like crunches on the floor, so you're doing it out. Third one's going to be doing that jab, so think about your footwork and that hand coming out and drawing back in. Fourth one's just going to be squats. The fifth one's going to be a squat, but then a knee afterwards. Alright, the sixth one is going to be putting the jab and the cross to work, so a 1-2, like this. Yeah. The seventh one is going to be a normal plank on the floor. The eighth one is going to be a bit different. So it's going to be a plank like this. We're going to lunge forward and try and stand up through that lunge. Here, so we're in kind of like, I don't know, like a kind of kung fu stance here. So we'd be down, going into a plank, like a high plank on our hands. We put our leg, our foot forward next to our hands, like a low yoga lunge, but then we're going to try and stand up through that here into a fighting stance and then back down. Alright? I don't know if that's got a name, I just made it up. Ninth is going to be like a knee here and then a kick. Bow. 10th is going to be hit on the floor like a reverse plank, just kicking up. So it's pretty tricky trying to keep your bum off the floor. 11th is going to be pretend guard pass here, so standing guard pass, nice and simple. 12 is going to be a bit of boxing. I'll tell you at that time we're going to be rolling and uppercutting, okay? 13, we're going to quickly get a cushion, and I want you guys switching from knee on belly to side on the 13th one. I'll tell you when it comes up. I want you guys to switch knee on belly. You can ground and pound, knee on belly. So just make sure you've got a cushion nearby. 14th is going to be some more kicks, and then last 15th is going to be sprawling, punching, sprawling. You guys physically and mentally prepared for that? Right, this is really going to earn you your Saturday night takeaway or whatever the hell you're going to be eating later, because hopefully this will burn us out. And then we'll finish, after that we'll do a few rolls. So I know, Martin, you've already done it. Did you do judo class today? So yeah, you're on your double back-to-back session, so I'm pretty impressed. So hopefully you survive this as well. Right, so it's going to be 15 minutes, so I'm going to start us up. Is everyone ready?
Yeah.
Tom, you good? Tom, it's UFC tonight, so just pretend you're in the cage. You know, this is main event. It's Tom versus Tony Ferguson. 15-minute epic battle. Alright, we're going in, we've got 5 seconds. Okay, so just lunges, so just normal lunges. Down then up. So there's 15 exercises, 45 seconds, 15 seconds rest. So just pace yourselves. So they're going to get progressively harder. So these first ones should be quite simple. So just lunge. You don't need to go too crazy with this one. You can do a reverse lunge behind you if you like here. Just make sure your back straight posture's up, or you can do a forward lunge, stepping forwards, touching the mat with your knee or the carpet or whatever. You don't even have to go all the way down if you don't like, depending how your knees are. You can just do a shallow lunge, completely up to you. As long as you're not bending forward too much, you've got that balance, so you're fine. Okay, so we do crunches now. So on the floor, any crunches you like. Here you can have your legs up, crunching, pretending to do a choke. You can put your feet on the floor, crunching up and doing a proper full sit-up, or you can just... Oh, sorry, forgot there was a rest, wasn't there? My bad. Right, now we're going. Ahead of myself. So crunches now. So 45 seconds, so just pace yourself. Just all the way down, all the way up. If you want to do these here, if you want to cram your feet underneath the sofa to help you, that's fine. Or you could do sit up into a cross collar choke. You can go onto your side. Okay, so it's just sit ups or crunches for another 18 seconds. Keep going one side then the other. And sit up here, then back down. Keep going, I'm going to do a couple of hip bumps to finish off with. Last few seconds. Okay, cool. Now I'll let you rest. You've got 10 more seconds left, 11, 10 seconds. So we're going to be going into jabs now, so we're going to adopt what we were doing. Just think about your footwork so you're nice and stable, and all you're doing is just jabbing out that lead hand, whatever it is. So starting now, that lead hand here, just jabbing out in front of you. So try and think about your feet and that distance you need, okay? When you feel nice and comfortable punching out front like that, then you can start moving your feet, start changing angles and stuff, but just make sure you're not going to fall over. So all this is a lead jab here. You can really step into it, turn that hand over, nice dance. You've done some striking before. Try and add that footwork in now, try and really reach that jab, keeping that range here. You can even go low to the body, 10 seconds left, up to the head, body, head. Make sure your right hand is protecting your face, so you've still got a guard up and that hand comes back. Every time you jab, it comes back to protect your face. Okay, rest. Take a breather. About 10 seconds. After this, we're going into squats. So these are just going to be casual squats. So up to you how shallow or deep you go. So I'm just going to start off just going quite shallow into a kind of medium seated position. Okay, because we're going to do 2 sets of squats back to back. Really work the legs. The next set is going to be with the high knee in between. So this is the easy one. So don't burn your legs out too much. Just now, you can go all the way down if you like, turning your knees and your toes out. Sumo squats here. You can do ballet squats if you like as well. completely up to you, or just keep it body weight, really standard squats. Sitting down, back up, nice line. That's great. 3, 2, 1. Cool, okay, shake out your legs, or 15 seconds rest. We're gonna do more squats, but this time between each one, you're just gonna throw your knee up. Just shake out your legs. Prepare yourselves. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now same squat, but then the knee comes up in between. Yeah, nice. Squat down, knee comes up. Brilliant. That's it. It's a little bit harder. We've already been doing 45 seconds of squats. And the knee, bam, comes up in between each rep. So now you can really go nice and low, then explode when you come up. I'm kneeing to my opposite hand. So I'm kneeing across the body just to get a little bit more range of movement. But you can just knee directly up if you like here, a more Muay Thai style. 14 seconds left. Let's keep going. Open up those hips. Nice low squats now to finish off with. 5 seconds left, last couple. Last one. Boom, nice. Okay, take a breather. After this, we're going to have boxing again. So we're going to be punching the 1-2 now. So we do right jab, then right cross. So just like we're doing, let's go. So the jab, and then right cross comes across straight afterwards. So I'm jabbing here, right cross. You can stay in the same position. Think about with those socks. Nice, Eugene. Yeah, brilliant. You can do a double jab and then right. Okay, so it's just 1-2, 1-2. Think about your feet placement. Don't get off balance. Okay. Think about where those socks were. When you feel like you've got rhythm, now you can start moving your feet a little bit, left and right, forwards and backwards. Brilliant. Nice, Christina. Yeah. So make sure you're still throwing those straight shots. This is just straight shots. Turning the fist over here. Remember to turn your shoulders because you really want to stretch your arms. These are supposed to be using as much length in your arms as you've got possible. Keep going, last few fast spans. Bam. Okay. Got 12, 11, 10 seconds to rest. And that's planks after this. So we're going to be going down, it's up to you, onto your elbows or high plank onto your hands. So this is going to be like a still held plank here. You don't want your hips too high, you don't want them too low to the ground. Engage your core obviously on your toes. Have your elbows a little bit wider than shoulder distance, or on shoulder if you want, so you're stable, and then just concentrate on breathing through the exercise. Your stomach starts to shake, your legs start to shake, that's totally normal. It'll be over before you know it. Just keep holding that plank. Try not to let your hips go too low. Only a few seconds now. Nice, well done. Alright, after this we're going to the high plank, okay? So this is the tough one. So now we're doing the high plank here. We're going to step through and try and stand up and then back down. So you lunge forwards. Here, so we're in a high plank there, with our hands down on the floor. You lunge forwards, put your foot next to the hand, and you try and step up. So I'm actually turning, rotating my back foot 45 degrees as I step up into this like low, kind of like the karate starts here. Lunge back down and then back up. Yeah, so you're pushing through the legs to stand up into a low kind of fighting stance. There, very nice. So the lunge is like this sprinting position on the floor, and you step through. So just a few seconds left, keep going guys. Stand up through that stance, really nice. Okay, we're over halfway through now. Next one is going to be a knee and a kick. Alright, so we're going to be a knee and then a kick in front. Alright, any kick, I'm going to go with front kicks, so much simpler. I'm just going to put my knee up and then my right leg is going to kick. So with my left leg I'm kneeing, then my right leg's going to kick. You can go knee, then kick on the same leg, up to you. I find it a bit easier to alternate, so my left knee comes up and I answer with my right. So like I'm almost checking a kick with my left and then kick through with my right here. Knee and then kick. You do the same thing here, kneeing with your rear foot there and then kicking. Okay, so you can use a wall if you like. You want some contact with something here, knee, kick, knee, kick. So it's really opening up your hips, testing your hamstrings. Let's speed up a little bit now. Your knee, kick, only the last 5 seconds left. Keep going, get the feet off the floor. Nice. 15 seconds rest. Alright, after this we've got, remember if it gets difficult you can always rest anytime you want. We're going to be doing reverse plank now, so we're back on the floor, here, pushing our hips off the floor like this. Reverse tabletop, and we're just going to be kicking leg up one after the other. This is a real tricky one this, because your bum naturally just wants to go straight to the floor. Okay, so you really got to try and keep your bum off the floor, pushing your hips up as high as possible, and you just put your weight through your heel as you kick up. Try and bring your shoulders back so you're not hunching forward too much. We're over halfway now, so your bum doesn't touch the floor again until the round is over. So keep going guys, try and keep your bum off the floor. Do not touch the bum with your floor with the bum, and keep kicking the head over the top. So keep those legs straight, kick, last few seconds. Oh man, I hate that one. Okay. Try and rest for 8 seconds, not much rest, you're just taking a breather. Now we're going to go into guard passing. So we're going to be bending down here, and we're just going to be pretending to pass a guard. So we're not even going that low, just a standing guard pass. You can be stepping around. Here you put your hands on the floor and run around if you like, or you can just run around someone's guard, pretending you're dragging their legs out of the way. Step through pass, X pass here, leg drag pass. You're just simply running or walking around someone's legs. You don't have to go low into side control at all. We're just like in this V shape, moving from one corner to the other, just visualizing that guard pass. Let's step it up, 10 seconds left guys. You've only got a few seconds left in your match. You want to get those points, stepping through the guard, grabbing those legs, stepping around, last one, step through pass, nice and easy, guard pass there. Take a breather here, deep breaths, you've got 4 left. So we're going to do a roll and uppercut now. So now we're going to do, here we're roll under a punch, and then uppercut. Roll under a punch back, and uppercut here. So we're just doing a squat essentially with our fighting stance again. So our feet are going back in the sock positions, and you roll under, and you uppercut, roll under the punch, uppercut. Try and keep your head nice and protected with your hands, like this. And then you can speed it up a little bit, okay? When you feel comfortable with it, you can start moving around a little bit, do a couple of combos. So here I'm just uppercut, 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 roll under, roll under. This is real kind of like Mike Tyson style, big rolling under here, evading the shots, and immediately answering it with a powerful uppercut. You really want to put your hips into the uppercut. With 5 seconds left, so now it's going to be as fast as possible. Just let your hands fly here. Okay, nice. Breather, nice Martin, very good. Okay, 10 seconds left. 3 left. This is where the cushion comes out. Cushion down, in front. We're going to go knee on belly on one side and switch. You can ground and pound here, hands to the floor, switch to the opposite side. Ground and pound, hands to the floor, and then switch. Punching the cushion, make it pay, and switch side to side. Here, switch side to side. You don't want to ground and pound, that's fine. Keep your hands on where their shoulders would be. Here, switching side to side. Got 20 seconds left, so just keep that movement up, keep the pace up. Make sure you're putting your knee on the cushion every time. Alright, take your side to side now. Really pick the pace up now. You've got 10 seconds here. 10 seconds left in the fight. You want to finish this fight with ground and pound. Boom, nice work. Okay, last two. Last two. Side kicks now, here. So we're kicking out, we can kick to the side, the front, whatever you want. Or you can just try and balance on one foot and try and kick with the other one here. You can just do this if you like to try and test your balance. Test it with one foot and then kick out like that. Yeah, brilliant, nice. Nice here if you want to kick up a bit higher. Now changing your footwork, stepping in and out of it. That's fine. Here you can just do normal kind of like front kicks here, like side front kicks. Old school kind of Royce Gracie style here. Or really try and get some heights with your leg. Opening up the hips, the groin and hamstrings, the side kick from side to side. Keep going, just make sure every time your foot hits the ground, your other foot's coming up. Side to side here. Nice, just 5 seconds, guys. Last few reps, last kick. Bam, okay. Last one now. Nice kicking down. Last one, 10 seconds rest. Now we're going to be sprawling and brawling here. So it's basically a burpee. But I like to pretend to punch. I'm going to sprawl down, press up, and then pop back up. So you can just do sprawls, it's up to you. I'm going to be punching, sprawl, press up, and back up. Essentially it's a burpee, but without the jump in the middle. Instead of the jump, you're punching here. So now you can really pick up the pace. Got 30 seconds now to last. To finish your workout, 3 punches, sprawl down, and pop back up. Good work. Sprawl, and then back up. Only 20 seconds now. You can sprawl to the side. Here, and push yourself back up. So you're punching here. Someone goes to your legs, you sprawl, press up, back up. Punching here. Okay, this is UFC tonight. Last 5 seconds. Interim lightweight title. Pop up. Bam. There you go. Workout done. Is that all right? How do you feel after that? You okay, Tom? Tom, this is when you got the belt. This is the end of the fight when you've got to be impressing the judges. You know you've lost, but you're like, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Try and get those points. So if you didn't sweat doing that, there's something wrong with you. How you feeling, Dan? You alright? Enjoy it?
Alright.
Yeah? Well, yeah, yeah. Alright. I like to mix it up with the kicks and punches just so you feel like you've got a whole body workout afterwards. Then it really gets the sweating going. If you're just doing one thing over and over, it's good for technique, but you're not necessarily feel like you've completely, hit every muscle in the body.
I was speaking shadow boxing, shadow kickboxing is a very good way to your cardio.
Yeah, you can do it in a prison cell. Not that I recommend going to prison just to do that, but hey, we're not that different from prison workouts at the moment. Right, so to finish off, we've got 20 minutes left. I'm going to do some flows on the floor, okay? So I'm going to angle this down a little bit. Finish with some BJJ specific flows. Bring this down a tad as well. So like I usually do, I finish with 2 different flows, which is basically simulating sequences in a jiu-jitsu match. So let's see if you guys can recognise them and then replicate them. Wow, it's hot. Alright, so what have we got? Okay, so the first one is going to be basically like a guard passy thing. So if you've only got like a rug or you've got only a hard floor, a yoga mat is helpful, anything really, because we will be putting our knees on the floor a little bit, but I'm not going to do anything too high impact, so it shouldn't hurt too much. I've got these mats, but these mats are almost as hard as the wooden floor underneath them, but they're still just enough to save my knees. So we don't want to do anything which is going to be really impactful. We're just trying to flow smoothly through these positions. The first one here, I'm sitting like this, right? So I'm kind of in a guard position with someone's legs around me. You can put a cushion on the floor if you need to, onto your knees, whatever. We're not going to spend too much time. Yeah, perfect. Just put a cushion underneath. That's fine. I can do the same thing. Yeah. So we're in a guard position like that. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going here, we're going kind of like what we do at double under pass. So my arms are going underneath their legs. And you know when you do a double under pass and you grab their belt, yeah, and you lift them up? So we're doing that. So we're going to go from here, we're going to go onto our toes. We're going to pretend to double under here, and we're going to jump into a squat or use your feet, your hands on the floor, your fists on the floor to push yourself up into a low kind of frog squat, and you'd lift them up. So we lift. So if this is my partner here, Mr. Cushion guy here, I'll be grabbing their butt or their belt, I'll be jumping onto my foot and then flipping them over. Yeah? So it's a guard pass here, we lift them up. When we get to this position, we're going to be moving around to the back. So essentially you feel like you've just lifted them, flipped them over. I'm going to be running around to the back like this. So I'll do it to the side so you can see. I'm going to be in the guard, popping up, lifting. I'll be running to the back position here. Okay? So here, so we're going to get here, we're going to get the back. You've got two options now. You can either do a forwards roll, there, so you've taken the back. If you haven't got the space, all you're doing is like putting a hook in and then falling to the side and taking the back. You can use a cushion or just an imaginary person here. Right, so we've got the back now. We're going for a back attack, but they managed to kind of wriggle out. So instead you go into the mount. So you can imagine they've wriggled out, their back is against the mat. And often when you've lost that back position, there's usually a point where you know, okay, they're going to wriggle out of this back position, I need to re-transition to another dominant position, and often it's going to be the mount, okay? So you're just moving around their body, you've got the back, you've gone for a choke, it hasn't worked, they've wriggled free, their back is against the mat, I'm going to go for a mount, so keep my hips low, mount, here, just like that, okay? So we go to the mount, and then to finish at the mount we can just go for a really basic cross-quarter choke here, like that, or we can practice, like we've done a few weeks in a row, the armbar from the mount position, sitting through and finishing with the armbar. So I'll show you the whole thing again. Let me tilt this down a little bit more so you can see. I know for the first time it sounds a bit complicated, but then you get the hang of it. So we're here, we're double under. All we're really doing is going from sitting to on our heels, popping to our feet, lifting someone up. Nice, Martin. We're going to run around there, take the back. All we're really doing is rolling to our back and then taking the back position. So we've got someone in between our legs. Then they wriggle free, we're going to go into the mount. Here, I know my back's to you, but we can do our turn. Then it's a cross-collar choke to finish, or step up, slide your knee under, and then armbar. Okay? Let's try it out. If you find it too difficult, all you really need to do is like the mount armbar. It's fine to do that instead. The mount armbar would be here. You're sliding your knee up. You're putting your foot up like this. You're leaning on one hand so you can release that leg, and just typical Jujutsu armbar from the mount position. Those of you who feel more confident, do the whole flow, okay? So let's go, you could just copy me. So I'll take the Jiu-Jitsu language out of it while you copy me this time. So let's do this together. So I'm sitting on my heels, I'm simply just trying to pop up onto a low squat, and then deadlift something. Exactly, nice, deadlift something. And then you're just doing like a little monkey run around the back here, pretending to hold like a beach ball or something, then you roll so it's on top of you. Yeah, that's it. So this would be the back. Yeah, nice, Christina. So you've got the back here. This is where you'd be practicing your chokes and stuff. But they've wriggled free, and I'm just going to go back onto my knees, but in a mount position here. So a low stretch like that. So the same thing, but I'm just keeping my chest as low as possible. This would be a smothering mount here. Okay, nice down. You've got a mount position. Now you can pretend to go for cross-collar choke. One hand goes in one collar, the other one goes in the other one. You bring your elbows towards your own hips, head goes to the floor, and you'd be choking, finishing the match with really deep, nice, Christina, yeah, cross-collar choke there, nice, Martin. Okay, that didn't work for any reason. You're going to go for the arm, so you're going to grab that arm, glue it to your chest, slide one knee up behind the head, like that, and you step one foot up, here. Yeah, nice, Dan, cool. So now you need to put the other hand down to release that bent leg. The one that's sitting underneath your butt, you need to put that hand down, release it, so now you're going perpendicular to them. Yeah, brilliant. And then legs together, knees together, back to the floor, hip up to finish the armbar. Eugene didn't, yeah, you look like you're good. I can't see Tom, but I imagine he's doing it perfectly. So we'll start again with the same position. So now we're going to try and flow through them a little bit quicker. I can talk you through it, or you can just try to ignore me and just go on your own, okay? So on my heels, onto my feet, low squat, deadlift, lifting someone up. I'm going to do a little monkey jump around the back, pretend to hug them, roll onto my back. Now I've got the back position. I'm practicing my chokes here. You can go for a cross-collar choke, really naked choke. It doesn't work. They wriggle out, so you need to reposition into the mount. And as I go, nice, Christina, you go to the mount, you keep your legs really low. Keep your hips nice and low as well. So they got out of the back, but they're in the mount. Now we've got the cross collar choke. Let's go for a nice choke here. Everything low, squeezing the life out of them. If not, they've got their arm up. You slide your knee up, step up with one foot. Here, lean back, and go for the arm bar. Nice, brilliant. We'll do one last one of those, and then I'll show you another one. So last one, I'm going to do the other side now. So I'm going to go around to my left hand side. Here, up into a squat. I'm going to be doing the kind of deadlift. I'll be running around, I'll run to the right. I'm going to take the back, so we could do a forward roll back take. It's easier just to flop to the side. On our back, you've got them in the middle. Here, they've wriggled free. I'm going to re-transition to the mount, low mount. So I can, and then we're in the cross collar choke or arm bar. Slide your knee up. So the arm bar, all I'm doing is sliding one knee up, putting one foot up like this. That's it, Dan, nice. So then you're holding the arm with one arm, and the other hand needs to go to the mat to release that leg which is bent underneath your bum. Yeah, that's it. Pass through. Yeah, that's it, brilliant. Now Gujikatami, classic arm bar position. Brilliant. Everyone seems to be getting that really nicely. Okay, we've got 10 minutes left, so I'm going to do one more, which is more kind of bottom position. We're going to do, right, so we're going to start off in the bottom side control. So now we've messed up, they've passed our guard. So they ran around our legs, we're on the bottom here. So we're in the side control position like this, okay? We need to do a hip escape, so we can use a cushion to demonstrate. When I'm doing a hip escape here, I'm not bench pressing with my hands, okay? I'm not doing is pushing through like that. There's only so much I can bench press like that. I'm pushing it down across my, on top of my hips, and I'm using my hips to push it up. Then my hands replace underneath, and then when my hips come back down, I've got this frame here to stop them pushing down on top of me. So I'm not trying to do this, okay? It won't work. I'm trying to do that there. When my hips come back down, I'm going to hip escape. So I'm going to move my hips away. So I really need to glue my feet to the floor here and push my hip out of the way. Alright? Now we're going to go into the closed guard. So we're going to bring my leg here, up, knee bent, like this. Turn, brilliant, Christina, yeah, and then closed guard. And then you can ditch through the cushion. So we're going from side control, hip escape, into the closed guard, okay? So from the closed guard, we're going to go down there. Right, so the closed guard, what we're going to do here is we're going to do a kind of a scissor sweep. So we're going to get on our side and we'll do a scissor kick like this. Yeah, nice. We'll do a scissor sweep and it goes onto our knees. There, and then we're in the mount position. Nice. But we've got to the mount position, but what's happened is they've rolled us back. Okay, they've tracked an arm and we've got rolled back. We're back in the guard. So we got to the mount, but they rolled us back in the guard. All right. Now is not the time to panic. We're back in the guard. What we're going to do, we're going to do a sit up like this, do a hip bump, and then we're going to fall back down into a triangle, and then just triangle our legs, and then simulate finishing a triangle choke. Okay. So the whole thing, I'll show you guys. The whole thing on the floor. If you find it too complicated, just stick to one or two of the transitions. So you all you need to do is this part if you want, just the hip up, hip out, close guard. That's fine, you can just do that over and over. If you want to progress from there, we're going onto our side, doing a scissor kick onto our knees. We're in the mount position. So we've just gone all the way through to the mount position, okay? But what's happened, they've trapped our arm and they've rolled us back. They've reversed the position, so we roll back into our back. Here. But that's fine. So we're back in the closed guard position, but that's cool because we've got another attack up our sleeves. We're going to pretend to do a sit-up sweep or hip bump sweep. So we're doing a big sit-up, hand goes to the mat, and hit them with our hip. Bam. Yeah, nice. And as they come back, the leg goes over the top, and we get a triangle choke here. So we've got all you're doing is triangling the legs, okay? Sangaku, leg underneath, shin underneath opposite knee, and then you're just going to be pretending to pull the head down, finishing that triangle there, however you like to finish your triangle. If not, all you're doing is just triangling your legs, pulling the head down like that to finish. Okay? So let's go, guys. Give that a go for a couple of minutes. Like I said, if you only want to extract the first section, just do that. That's totally fine. So it's just a hip up here. Pretend someone's trying to push your weight down. You'll escape in the hips. and you bring your legs in front of you into the closed guard. I've got the closed guard, that's great. But I'm turning onto my side and I'm doing a scissor kick, bam. And I use that momentum to get to my knees, like that. Well, on the knees, I'm in the mount position, but they've rolled me back. I lost the position. Yeah, nice, Christina, I'm in the closed guard, okay? But now, I'm going to be going for the sit-up sweep here, bam. Powerful hip bump like that. It doesn't quite work because I used it to set up a triangle. As they come back down, my leg goes over the top here, and then I find myself in the triangle position. Brilliant, Christina, here. Now pull the head down. Just pretend to finish the triangle, pulling your knees towards your chest, basically. There. Nice, Dan. Nice, Eugene, Dylan. Cool. Last couple. Let's go. So, bottom side control position again, here. Hip goes up. I'm going to go the other side now. I'm going to go the opposite direction. Hip goes up, and let's try and speed it up so it's a nice, like a fluid flow now. Let's go hip up, hip away, closed guard. On the side, scissor sweep, up, reversed, hip bump, triangle, and finish. So at your own pace, let's do the last two each on either side. So one on either side on your own pace, or just copy me. Hip up, hip away, closed guard. On my side, scissor sweep. Onto the knees in the mount. I've been reversed, back on my mat and back. Hip bump sweep, really high hips. And as I fall back down, I trap them into a triangle choke, which I can always show you the details of another time, and then you finish. Last one. Last one. Hip goes up, hip goes away. Get your closed guard back. In the closed guard. Onto the side. Scissor sweep. Onto your knees. There. Reversed. Back onto my back. Lift feet to the ground. I sit up. I come back down. And I finish the triangle choke. That's good. How was that? Any questions? Do you feel alright? How you feeling, Tom? Have you destroyed your cushion? Did you make it? Did you make your pillow tap out?
Tapped out, man.
Good, good, good. You alright, Martin? It looks like.
It's impressive.
How are you doing, Martin? It looks like it's a pretty hard floor. Okay, you're alright. Nice. So there you go. You've got a couple of flows that you can practice in your own time, and then you can always look back over the old videos and start combining them and whatever, adding like different moves you like as well. So if you come up with your own ones, always feel free to let me know and we can practice some other cool stuff. So just the last few minutes, we're going to stretch out a little bit. So we'll just sit back here, cross our legs a little bit. However, whatever feels comfortable. We're just going to rotate our shoulders back again. And forwards. Backwards. And forwards again. Okay, just so you can see, I'm going to be grabbing my hands behind me, so palms together, lacing my fingers, try and keep my body upright, my shoulders back, and try and bring my little fingers up towards the back of my head very, very slowly. If you can only just get your hands together here and just straighten out your arms, that's fine. If you can lift them up away from the mat a little bit, that's great. So really increase your shoulder mobility, really help with recovery as well, but make sure you're not arching too or bending too far forwards. You're keeping everything nice and upright. Okay, then release that. Just going to lean over to one side. So we look over one shoulder. So I'm putting my hand behind me, my fingers pointing away from me here, and just leaning over, looking behind me. Twisting my body, but making sure my posture is nice and upright. And I'm breathing through that stretch, I'm not holding my breath. I'm going to change now and do the opposite side. So I'm looking behind me over my left shoulder now. My fingers are pointing directly behind me, away from me. And I'm keeping my back straight. Twisting the spine. Okay, back into our leg cross position here. Just try and sink into this position as comfortably as you can. And we're going to try and crawl our hands forward in front of us. So we're going to try and crawl and put our elbows to the mat. Okay, so you get your elbows to the mat, that's great. You can come back and do the same thing. So any pain in your knees, just stop at that point. And then we're going to try and get our elbows to the mat and then back up again. Now we're going to try and crawl out a little bit further. Elbows go to the mat and then crawl out even further as you straighten out your arms. Here, now your head's going to start going close to the mat. And now we're going to try and hold that stretch. Breathing in deep, and then you breathe out, and then you try and sink even lower. You're really trying to get your forehead towards the mat. If you need to lay off the stretch for a second, rest. Sometimes this really aggravates my knees, so I need to just move it about a bit, and then I'll go back into the stretch. Here, walking hands forwards, elbows to the mat, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. You can just stay here. That's a good stretch as it is. If not, walk that forwards and try and get your head close to the mat. Try and hold that just for a couple of breaths. And then back up. Nice. A couple of minutes to go. We'll go on to all fours here. Alright, we're going to sit back onto our heels. We're going to do a similar thing with one arm's going to be stretched out in front of us and the other arm's going to go through that gap. So we're going to be stretching the outside of the delts now, concentrating on the shoulder mobility. So I've got my left palm up, my right palm down, and I'm just trying to push that shoulder towards the floor. So one arm going towards 12 o'clock, the other arm going towards 3 o'clock, and just breathing into that stretch. And then switch arms. This is the last couple of minutes left. Really, when you're in this stretch now, then try and crawl that arm forwards, really extending your arms out now. Even that stretching your shoulders, this one I really need to do every day because I've got such a bad left shoulder. Oh, feels horrible, but afterwards feels good. Okay, and then last one, we're just going to stretch out in front now. So both arms out in front, and now hopefully you can get your head to the floor and really crawl those hands forwards and stretch out in front of you. Oh, okay, and then back up again. I'm just going to rotate my shoulders a bit. You can keep stretching afterwards your legs if you like. That was just really to concentrate on the shoulders because we did a bit of punching and stuff to try and make sure we don't have any sore shoulders or upper part of the body. Every class I like to end with just a little bit of like silence, a little bit of reflection, and you can just think about the positions we were working on. You can try and empty your mind completely, or you can think about what you're going to have for dinner. Completely up to you. It's just a small challenge to see if we can sit still for 30 seconds and not move or fidget. Alright, so we're going to do 30 seconds. You can sit however you like. You can lie down, cross your legs, sit on your heels, whatever. I'm just going to stay in this position. Okay, I'm going to shut up for 30 seconds and feel free to close your eyes and join me just to try and chill out for the end of the class. So let's go. Alright, I'm done guys. Open your eyes and we're done. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. No problem. Hope you enjoyed the class.